Hello, welcome back to Call Clutter Fairy, where I help you get clutter-free so that you can live stress-free. Today we're going to talk about how often you should purge things in your home. These are items that you can easily and quickly go through today. First on our list is lipstick. If you have a pretty good collection of lipsticks and you know some of them are more than about 2 years old, try and purge those down. They hold a lot of bacteria, so unless you're cleaning them after each use, let them go. Mascara and eyeliner. This is another item. Simply because of the bacteria use on them, you should be replacing at least every 3 months. However, if you have a lot of them, open them up. They do dry out. Get rid of those that aren't good anymore. But if you've had it more than about a 6-month period, let it go. Keep yourself safe. Powders. I didn't know that you needed to get rid of these on a regular basis, but these have a lifespan of about 2 years, as well as liquid foundations. Those also have about a 2-year lifespan. I am so guilty of keeping these, but nail polish. I would love to know how long you keep yours. When I saw that it said a year, I was kind of surprised by that. They don't have bacteria in them. I get that they probably, get a little bit dry, but I have literally had some of my nail polishes since high school. I graduated in 1985, so I should probably go through those and pare them down. Toothbrushes, I think this is a pretty common one, but if you have a toothbrush that you've been using for more than about 3 months, get rid of it, get yourself a new one. I always keep a couple on hand in case someone comes over and they don't have a toothbrush. My kids are always having sleepovers and somebody doesn't come with a toothbrush. But afterwards, if they don't take it home with them, use it for cleaning, otherwise just throw it in the trash. As I'm helping people organize their bathrooms, I come across a lot of people with giant collections of samples. Use these samples within about a month. When they package them, they're not packaging them the same way as their actual product, so they lose their effectiveness, they lose their potency. So when you get a sample, give yourself about a month, but then get rid of it. Don't set them aside using them as travel unless it's the same packaging. I get little Lancome eye things and the packaging is the same, so I keep those. But if you're not using them within a month, get rid of them. I'm guilty of this one, shower loofahs. I usually get rid of them once they start looking ratty or change colors, but they are bacteria breeding grounds. Blah! So 3 to 4 weeks, get rid of your shower loofah and get yourself a new one. If you're not using it and you just have it in your shower kind of as a decoration, don't. Boy, I didn't realize what bacteria can build up in these just from the moisture constantly getting in there. Medicine's a super easy one. Just go through and check the expiration dates. There's a lot of different debates on how effective they are after an expiration date, so talk to your doctor. I've heard some doctors say the potency of them absolutely diminishes over time, and I worked with another doctor who herself kept expirations for up to a year afterwards, so use your own judgment, but if you've got something that's a couple of years old, be safe, let it go. Sunscreen is one that definitely loses its effectiveness. So the potency and protection of the levels go down after a year of being bottled. So save yourself. Nobody wants to get skin cancer. Let it go. Get yourself some new ones. So if you've saved multiple cans over the last couple summers, clear them all out. Okay, this one's up for a lot of debate. Bras. I read that you should get rid of your bras after about a year or two. I'm repeating this because that's what I read, but I guess I don't understand why. They are saying that because of the elasticity. Well, I get that. If it's not holding things the way it used to, of course get rid of it. But they were saying regardless of elasticity, you should replace them. This is one I'm going to put out to you. I'd love to know how often you replace your items like this, because those are expensive, and there's a couple that I recycle through. So if it's still working, I'm gonna argue with this one on getting rid of it every 2 years, but let me know how often you replace yours. Sheets and pillows. They say you should replace these about every 2 years, and I would tend to agree with that if they're being used on a regular basis. But if you've got guest sheets, towels, pillows, keep them in vacuum bags. These keep them dust, dirt, and bug free. It keeps moisture out, and then you know that they're fresh and clean whenever you use them for your guests. Moving on to the kitchen. Teflon pans seem to have a breakdown, they say, of about 5 years. I don't know if I believe this, but I do know that I had a pan that looked like this. I was using it and didn't care, but in researching this, I found out that the Teflon is really bad for you, as well as bacteria breeds within those scratches and crevices. So if you have a pan that looked like that, get rid of it. Spices are another one I'm really guilty of. When we moved into this house over 6 years ago, I bought all new spices. I still have most of them, and almost all the jars are full. So when I redid my little spice jars, here's a video of that if you haven't seen it, I did replace a lot of the spices on that. But if you've had yours sitting around for more than 2 years, go ahead and replace them. If it's a spice you're still not using, don't even bother. Just keep a list of the spices that you no longer have so that when you go shopping, you can easily replace it. Extracts have a 4-year lifespan. So if you've had extracts in your cabinet for more than 4 years, let them go. All right, true confession time. I'm a condiment hoarder. I know that word shouldn't be used lightly, but I have an entire dedicated drawer in my refrigerator of just condiments. I didn't realize that these didn't have the same type of shelf life as the bottles that you buy. So if you've had condiments in your refrigerator or in a drawer for more than about a year, keep yourself safe, let them go. Cleaning products have a lifespan of about 2 years. In the bottle, they do contain some preservatives to keep the lifespan going, but beyond that, they're not as effective. So if you're using a cleaner that's a liquid and it's not working as well as it once did, it's probably because you've had it longer than 2 years. Which segues into, if you're making homemade products, only make enough for that day's use. Because there's no preservatives in there, they break down once they're mixed together, and they're not going to be as potent and as effective the next time you use it. Sponges are an item that I tend to shy away from. I've always had an issue with them smelling really quickly. If you have a tip for how to keep that from happening, leave me a comment below. My Clutter Fairy Mary runs hers through the dishwasher so that they stay clean longer, but they are definitely a bacteria breeding ground, so make sure you're replacing them every 2 to 3 months. Do not keep them lying around longer than that. Fire extinguishers. I don't think many of us think about the fact that when they fill up these cans with the pressurized chemical to put out fires, that pressurization decreases over time. So if you've had a fire extinguisher for more than 10 years, go get it recycled properly. It's a hazmat item and cannot be thrown in the trash, and get yourself a new one. This is one of my best tips. If you have a lot of paint lying around and you're not going to be using it, it is technically not something that you can easily dispose of. It's also a hazardous material. But here's a hack for how to get rid of it in the trash. Open up the cans and put them in a safe corner. You don't want somebody knocking over the paint. But open up the can and let it dry out. Once that paint is dried out, you can put it in your regular trash. Batteries. So in researching for this, I actually found out that storing them in the refrigerator has validity. I always thought it was like a silly wives' tale. If you are storing them in a refrigerator though, please store them in an airtight container, a glass container with an airtight lid, because if one does happen to break open, and I've seen batteries corrode before and leak, you do not want any battery acid getting access to your food. So make sure you're storing them tightly. But if you've been storing them for more than about 5 years, do yourself a favor and replace them with new ones so that you have good, strong batteries when you need them. When discarding batteries, they should not go in the trash. Please keep them in a container, and the next time you happen to go to Lowe's, they have a container right in the customer service area where you can safely discard your batteries. Is there something I missed on the list that you know of that should be purged on a regular basis? If so, leave me a comment below. Please like this video, and if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you take a moment to click that subscribe and notification button. Until then, I'll see you next week. Bye.